Bengelsdorf did not immediately respond, but instead created a portentous interval in which to quietly insert his rejoinder. "I was at the White House, talking to the President just yesterday morning." Here he sipped from his glass of water, allowing time for us to regain self-possession. "I was congratulating him," he continued, "on the significant inroad he had made into allaying the Jewish suspicions that dated back to his trips to Germany in the late 30s, when he was secretly taking the measure of the German Air Force for the U.S. government. I informed him that any number of my own congregants who had voted for Roosevelt were now his strong supporters, grateful that he had established our neutrality and spared our country the agonies of yet another great war. I told him that just folks and programs like it were beginning to convince the Jews of America that he is anything but their enemy. Admittedly, before his becoming president, he at times made public statements grounded in anti-Semitic cliches, but he spoke from ignorance then, and admits as much today. I'm pleased to tell you that it took no more than 2 or 3 sessions alone with the president to get him to relinquish his misconceptions and to appreciate the manifold nature of Jewish life in America. This is not an evil man, not in any way. This is a man of enormous native intelligence and great probity, who is rightly celebrated for his personal courage, and who wants now to enlist my aid to help him raise those barriers of ignorance that continue to separate Christian from Jew and Jew from Christian, because there is ignorance as well among Jews, unfortunately, many of whom persist in thinking of President Lindbergh as an American Hitler, when they know full well that he is not a dictator who attained power in a push, but a democratic leader who came to office through a landslide victory in a fair and free election, and who exhibited not a single inclination toward authoritarian rule. He does not glorify the state at the expense of the individual, but to the contrary, encourages an entrepreneurial individualism and a free enterprise system unencumbered by interference with the federal government. Where is the fascist statism? Where is the fascist thuggery? Where are the Nazi brown shirts and the secret police? When have you observed a single manifestation of fascist anti-Semitism emanating from our government? What Hitler perpetuated on the German Jews with the passage in 1935 of the Nuremberg Laws is the absolute antithesis of what President Lindbergh has undertaken to do for the American Jews through the establishment of the Office of American Absorption. The Nuremberg Laws deprived Jews of their civil rights and did everything to exclude them from membership in their nation. What I have encouraged President Lindbergh to do is to initiate programs inviting Jews to enter as far into national life as they like, a national life that I'm sure you would agree is no less ours to enjoy than anyone else's. A pouring forth of sentences as informed as these had never before occurred at our dining table, or probably anywhere on our block, and it was starting then, when the rabbi concluded by inquiring rather gently, even intimately, "Tell me, Herman, does what I've explained begin to address your fears?" To hear my father respond flatly, "No, not for a moment," and then, heedless of rendering an affront that would not only arouse the rabbi's displeasure, but insult his dignity, and provoke his vindictive contempt, my father added, "Hearing a person like you talk like that, frankly, it alarms me even more." The following evening, Aunt Evelyn phoned him bubblingly informed us that out of the 100 New Jersey boys who'd gone west that summer under the sponsorship of Just Folks, Sandy had been selected as a statewide recruiting officer to speak as a veteran to eligible Jewish youngsters and their families about the OAA program's many benefits and to encourage them to apply. Thus did the rabbi extract his revenge. Our father's older son was now an honorary member of the new administration. And there we will pause.